Well, good morning, everyone. It's about 7:36, rather precise, and very early for me as well. I woke up about 6 o'clock. Centipede was packing up next to me. Not her fault, not blaming her. It was very light outside. There's a lot of birds making noises, and had the best night's sleep I've had on trail since probably Mount Laguna. I don't think I woke up more than once during the night. I was wearing nearly all the clothes I've got. It was kind of chilly, to say the least. But I had a real nice sleep. Didn't need to get up to use the facilities in the middle of the night, so that was a bonus. Really, really nice campground, actually. Even though it's closed for the season, most of the facilities are still open. So just this little area I'm walking through now, it's a real big spot actually. It's a really big campground. You've got like toilets, spare boxes, picnic tables, nice big pitches, fire pits. It's really good. Enjoyed it last night. It was a nice stop actually. If I was coming camping, I would probably come here. So now I am doing, going round by the PCT kind of proper, if you like. I think anyway, I need to check my map. Centipede's doing a road walk to cut a big loop off. It's an alternate that you can do. So she's doing that, and then we're going to probably, if I manage to catch her up, because she's going to have a good head start on me, probably meet up later on this afternoon or this evening. There's been a lot of detours recently, detours and road walks, and I think we're both getting a bit frustrated by it. There's nothing you can do about it, obviously, but it's one of those things. No signal here either, so I've not been able to keep up to date with events in the outside world, which is quite nice. Really peaceful this morning. I was expecting a lot of people in that campground, and where we were there was like 5 of us, I think, in the little area where we were. There's a couple of people walked through this morning that looked like they were camped possibly further up the campground, but nowhere near as many people as I expected. Saw a couple of deer last night, a couple of mule deer on the embankment behind where we were camping. That's the first 4-legged animals of that variety I've seen on this trip in nearly 400 miles. That's crazy. I can't believe it. All the scenery and all the countryside I've walked through, and that's the first 2 deer I've seen. It's a nice morning so far. I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit warmer than it was yesterday, because yesterday it was absolutely Baltic in the afternoon especially. The morning wasn't too bad, it was just the wind, but yesterday afternoon, chilly. Anyway, I'm going to carry on down here and make sure I am on the correct path. Alright, well, I'm back on the PCT proper now. Working my way up this canyon. Headed towards, I think it's Cooper Canyon Trail Camp at the end of here, not too far away. Been a nice steep little climb. Maybe about a quarter of a mile back. And now working my way along this flattish area next to the stream. It's a beautiful morning as well. It's not too hot, there's a little bit of breeze. Really nice hiking conditions at the moment. not what I was expecting, to be honest. So it's a nice surprise. Oh. So I was reading the comments on the app yesterday, and probably will, well, pretty sure we won't get there today because it's 25 miles ahead. But there is somewhere called Mill Creek Fire Station, and it actually is a fire station. And if you are so inclined, there is a local pizza delivery company. If you call them and order, they will deliver pizza to you at the fire station. Which I think is pretty novel marketing. There's actually a couple of places like that on this trail. A couple of developed campgrounds where, you know, there's tables and pit toilets and things like that. And they've got a bit of cell service, phone signal. So yeah, you can ring up and you can get takeaway delivered. It's been a real beautiful trail this morning so far. Coming basically, it's going to be difficult to show you, but kind of coming all the way around this. So we climbed up the far side and we've come all the way around, or I've come all the way around. Just like a big bowl basically. On the map it just looks like you're walking in a giant circle. So I'm going to ask your opinion on something, see what you guys think. Talking to Centipede yesterday, and we were talking about 0 days and taking days off and stuff, and she said, what do you think about taking a 0-1 trail? And I think, well, I know by that she meant rather than spending a day in town doing nothing, what did I think about just like staying at a campsite for a day and doing nothing? And I've actually done that only once before, and that was on this trail in 2019. It was in Washington. If anyone's watched my announcement video for this trail or knows my history, you'll know that I didn't have a good time in Washington on the first trip. It was basically wet, dull, cold, snowy, icy, pretty much all the time. And there was one morning I woke up next to this beautiful lake. It was really gloomy outside. Everything I had was kind of wet from the day before. Nothing had had a chance to dry out. And I said to the girl I was hiking with, Steph, the Aussie, basically just like, you can do what you want today, but I'm afraid I'm not going anywhere. If I'd have gone anywhere that day, I probably would have quit the trail. I just lost everything. Like, I just didn't want to move, basically. I think in that sense, it was probably a good idea to take a 0 that day and do nothing. Because as I say, if I'd have carried on walking, I'd have just got to the nearest road, hitched, and that would have been me done. So I think I owe Steph a bit of a thanks for that one, for staying with me and stopping me from doing that. But it's difficult because I think my answer to Centipede was you would have to plan for it, because you're kind of planning for your sections and measuring out your food and things like that. So if you were going to take a 0 on trail somewhere, I think you would need to obviously build that food and water into the plan. And I think for me as well, the whole point of taking a 0 in a town is so that you can enjoy TV, bed, shower, bath, town food, ice cream, more ice cream, maybe a little bit more ice cream. You know what I mean? I think it's to to enjoy the creature comforts. I don't know. See what what do you guys think about zeros on trail? Is that something you'd consider? Anyway, I think hopefully at some point soon I'm going to be climbing out of this canyon that we've been in most of the sort of morning and yesterday. Would like to get some cell phone signal if possible. Ooh, nice views. I am going to make an apology because I've got behind with videos again. There's going to be, well, you'll have experienced it already by the time this video comes out, but there's going to be a pretty big stretch without any daily videos. I am sorry. I'm finding it difficult to basically keep on top of them. If I had mobile internet that I could use, it might be a bit easier. But as I don't really have a great deal of that, my UK provider, basically after I've used X amount of data, they cap my data speeds at 2 megabytes per second. So it basically means that if I wanted to upload like a 20-minute 4K video, it would probably take me most of the night. And I just can't afford the juice to do that, the electric. I'm already finding that I may not have enough electrics with me, enough power banks, if I'm filming as much as I am. So it's all an experiment and it's all a trade-off. You do what you can. Look at this charred tree trunk here. Not much left of that one. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and walk a little bit more now. This is mile 398 and it's called Cloudburst Summit. It's quite a nice view actually. And it looks like there might be a nice little bit of down coming up as well. You might just be able to see there, somebody has left a water cache there. It's like 12 or 15 bottles of water. I don't need it, so I'm going to leave it right there. There's no point in taking what you don't need. Leave it for someone that does need it. Oh, just obviously climbed up onto this summit ridge and it's like a little pass. And the icy breeze is definitely back. I've got my shirt sleeves rolled up and I can definitely feel it. But let's look across here at this view. Absolutely superb. I'm really enjoying the trail this morning. It's been really pretty this morning. Got a nice view to the right of me now. And then you might not be able to make it out, but right in the very distance you can see right down to the flat desert. Approaching the 400 mile mark shortly, probably in maybe 1.5 miles. I'm sure there'll be a little, excuse me, a little number presented somewhere in stones or fir cones or something like that. This section I'm on now, you're kind of following the highway, but just like paralleling it down the canyon. It's a nice kind of corkscrewy down trail, but not too steep a gradient at all, so your knees aren't getting hammered. And when you're out of the wind, it's a really, really nice temperature. Just after 10 a.m. and there she blows. 400 miles Hope you can see it. It's kind of semi-shaded. 400 miles. That marks the longest trail I've done since the GR11 across Spain. 400 miles. That, and it's my 31st day on trail today. Maybe a bit to think about. Doesn't feel like it's been 31 days, I know that much. Definitely feels like it's been 400 miles. But really does not feel like 31 days since I started. Alright folks, I am just past mile 405.5. Been crossing Highway 2 quite a lot in the last kind of 24 hours. Paralleling it and crossing it. And the last crossing of it, there was a little rest area, like a parking lot, toilets, picnic tables. And just when you came up off the road, somebody had left a cooler there full of ice and ice cold sodas. So I was very, very happy to see that. Whoever's done that, thank you. Really nice of you. I got a can of orange, fizzy orange, whatever brand it was, I can't remember. But it was real nice. Sat on the picnic bench, had a Cliff Bar in my drink and carried on. I've still not caught Centipede up. I was a little bit worried that I'd passed her somewhere without seeing her, but I'm pretty sure I keep seeing her footprints every now and then, her shoe prints in the sand on the floor. So I think she's still in front of me. The trail for the last sort of 5 or 6 miles has kind of been like this. It's been pretty easy. I don't want to jinx things, but yeah, it's been really, really nice, and I've been cruising at a pretty good speed, I think. I'm not sure what time, I think it's like 12 noonish, something like that. I've been kind of looking out for a lunch rock. I do quite like finding like a big rock to sit on at lunchtime with a nice view. That's always one of my favourite ways to spend lunchtimes. Maybe give it another half an hour or so and see if I come across Centipede doing the same thing somewhere. The wind's died down now and it's actually pretty warm again. Turned into a really, really nice day. The forecast said it was not going to be this warm, but the forecast was wrong. I'm enjoying it today. More than yesterday. I mean, it was difficult walking yesterday. There was a lot of up and a lot of down, and the wind. I found it difficult with the strength of the wind. It's kind of like taking my breath away all the time, and it was real cold as well. Just spoke to a couple of hikers, Cinderella and Buff Baby. They had camped where we were thinking about camping last night at the little picnic area before the road walk. So pretty much like 3 miles back from where we camped. And they actually were in a cloud bank, and they both had like frost and ice all over their tents. So they sat back there where the Trail Magic soda was, drying the tents out. My tent this morning was bone dry. Not a drop of anything on it anywhere. I think Centipede said she had some moisture on the ground sheet and a little bit of moisture inside the tent, but she is using the duplex now, and it's the original duplex, not the duplex zip. So it's the one with the toggles, like the clips on the doors. I think she's enjoying the extra space inside compared to the X-Mid 1 Pro. But you can see this is very, I don't want to say unchallenging because my legs are aching a little bit. I've hardly stopped this morning at all. Quite enjoying it. But yeah, the terrain at the moment isn't too bad. Just coming into some nice colours again as well. There's not been many for a while, been quite sparse. But you can see there's a little bit more life in this area. Probably, at a guess, it's because I've dropped a decent chunk in elevation. And we've got different types of plants appearing again. That's my unexpert opinion. £20 past 12 and it's mile 406.7. This is the Sulphur Spring. Look who I've run into. Can't get away from her. This is one of the few water sources kind of in the area. It's a little camp spot as well. There's a little plaque over here to all horsemen of Area 9. I don't exactly know what that means. And then I think that there should be a water spigot over here as well. There you go. Oh. Oh dear. Well, that one's not working. So yeah, unfortunately that water spigot over there wasn't working, completely dry, but just down the ways there, about 0.2 mile, is the actual proper campsite with picnic tables and a couple of pit toilets. I think it's more of an equestrian campsite from what I can gather, but just down there is a pipe spring, and even though it is flowing very, very slowly, you can get like a 2 litre bladder full within about 3 or 4 minutes, and it's piped water, so it's a lot cleaner than. There is a stream running through here as well, but it is literally just jam-packed full of algae. It doesn't look nice at all. So we'll pass on that, thank you. Going to be heading back up the trail shortly and seeing how much further we can get today. I've done about, Amelia's just worked it out, done about 13 or 14 miles so far today. So that's not bad going. But we are heading into a little bit of an uphill section now. The next 4 or 5 miles, I think. Right guys, it's 4:30 and we're about mile 410.5. Real nice view across the mountains there. So walking's been pretty easy most of the day. The last few miles have been uphill. Not anything ridiculously steep, just gentle. But it's kind of done the same as yesterday's weather did. It's really, really chilled off now. My hands again are freezing. My hands are always first thing to feel the cold. But yeah, they're really cold. We've just been stopped. Finally came into some mobile phone service, cell service, after about probably over 24 hours without it. So we've just been stopped for a while, catching up on things. I've seen I've got an absolute bucket load of comments to respond to and read. Might be able to do that this evening if we have service at the campsite. Otherwise, I think our next stop is going to be at the campground in Acton, or just outside of Acton. So Centipede's got a box of food there, and she's just ordered a pair of shoes number 12 to go there. Very sad face. Unfortunately, these Nikes aren't doing too well. Because they're road shoes, they've got very, very little grip on them, and on this kind of loose, sandy stuff, she's kind of walking funny and slipping all over the spot. So we're going back to the trail shoes. She's found somewhere online that can hopefully get them to the KOA, or what was the KOA. I think it's like LARV Resort or something like that now, just outside of Acton. And they said they're going to be there by Thursday. So please, 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 everyone, keep your fingers crossed, because she's in quite a bit of foot pain at the moment. Alright guys, it's 8:30 PM and we're camped at mile 411.8, kind of on a big mountainside. It's pretty windy, it's really cold. Don't know if you can see my breath. Yeah, it's pretty cold. There's also an absolute ton of people camped here tonight, and as such, me being the antisocial swine that I am, I'm not really enjoying it, which is why I haven't filmed a great deal. So I'm going to be completely honest, I'm just going to go to bed. Good night.